Did you guys know that there are over 2,000 species of palm trees? And if you come to the Philippines, it seems like every palm tree has like these etchings in the side. They like turn into a ladder to get the coconuts. People are ingenious, and I really appreciate the creativity of the locals. The things you learn on the road, the more you know. What? Hello, good morning, Komusta, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining. It's great to meet you. I'm glad you stopped by. I am Adam, and I have been traveling full-time for the last 8 months. During that time, I have been on quite the backpacker's budget. So you might be wondering, how can you afford to stay at such a nice place? That was unintentional. I am currently on the Siargao island in the Philippines. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, this is where we're staying. From getting a flat tire on our scooter while we were driving an hour north, if you followed me on Instagram, you would already know, to some unexpected Airbnb cancellations, and the entire island being fully booked because of weddings. This was the only place available that we were able to stay. I have heard and seen nothing but great things about this island. It is a bit unexpectedly remote. As touristy as it is, the lack of ATMs and the lack of good Wi-Fi make for an interesting experience. So if you have a hard time disconnecting from the rest of the world for a few days while you're here, you might have a tough time, as I did for the first couple of days. Okay, Christy is awake, she's alive, she just went for her daily swim. We are going to go explore now. See you there. We've made it. First stop of the day. In the grand scheme of like just living and being a human being, it's still pretty early for us, but this is one thing that you need to get to at a certain time of the day. We are at the Magpupungko Rock Pools, and because of the tide, only I think 2 times a day is when they're actually filled. During high tide they'll fill up, and then the water will come back during low tide, and it'll just be the pools that are filled. Just like everything else, it's a little more touristy than I ever think that it's going to be. Let's pay the entrance fee to nature. I can't seem to get over the thought that every time we're going to some sort of like natural wonder or something that we see online or on Instagram, that it is going to have already turned into a huge tourist event. We came here and stupidly I thought that it was gonna be maybe not empty, but not this. Chris is right though, like Instagram photos are gorgeous of some of these places that we go to, but look at what they edit out. I counted, and that is exactly 1,000 people. It's not ideal, but you gotta work with what you're given. As touristy as it is, I can understand why. This is a completely different experience than anything that I've seen before. You have the beach, which is super low tide because all of this is like walkable. And then on this side, just, I guess, this giant crevice in the earth that is filled with water. I don't know how deep it is, but people are like, it's almost like a public pool. People are just floating in it.
Look at the starfish!
Ooh.
It's like a spider starfish. Look!
So the only thing to do here really is to swim. So we are going to do that, and then the next stop is the Tayangban Cave Pools. But since we actually have to go through the water in order to get to them, I'm going to be switching out this camera for my underwater action camera. No free brand deals. Let's go. We just went through underwater cave, and you come out to this little lagoon like this, and it's not big, but it's awesome. The water is somehow super blue. This is pretty dope. Okay, so the last stop on our trip today is at this thing that I've seen a lot of photos on, and I had no idea where it was. I have to shout out my friend Thomas Whittle. Check out his stuff on Instagram. He is the one that directed me to this. He sent me like the map of exactly where it is, but it is like the perfect photo of the Philippines. Look at this. I couldn't be more excited right now, but we are going to get a couple photos of this, maybe do just a little bit of swimming, and then probably call it a day. It's still very early, it's only noon, but like waking up as early as we did, 8 a.m. makes for a long day. So we got one of the locals showing us, one of the local kids showing us how to get there from underneath the bridge. This is cool.
I'm Jason.
Jason? Good to meet you, Jason.
And you?
Christy.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for showing us around.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. I haven't jumped off so many things like into water, just like the Philippines. That's where we were. That's what we jumped off. Anyway, that is the end of yet another vlog. Guys, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It's not gonna do you any harm. And until next time, until the next episode of Citizens of Everywhere. Peace, guys.